Welcome into the Commanders Report. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. The Washington Commanders have set their initial practice squad for 2025. We'll break that down at the top of today's show. Then there's a new Bleacher Report article that links Kwity Paye, the defensive end from the Indianapolis Colts, in a trade to the Washington Commanders. And then we'll get into a discussion here surrounding Josh Johsnon, the third-string quarterback, and whether or not this team should replace him with somebody that is a familiar face here in the nation's capital. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we give you guys daily Commanders coverage on this channel, 100% free. Every time there's breaking news, we get you guys a video. Also, weekly live shows, weekly live watch parties for every single Washington Commanders game. So help us get to 50,000 subscribers today by clicking that subscribe button today for daily and free Commanders coverage. All right, so we'll start off today's show here, guys, with our practice squad for the year that the Washington Commanders have set. We'll start with the offense. Jayden Daniels' pet, Sam Hartman, of course, is here still for some reason. Then we got Donovan Edwards coming in. So the Don had a couple really big runs with his time with the Michigan Wolverines. Had some pretty decent runs with the New York Jets this preseason as well. He ends up joining the practice squad here for Washington. Then Jacoby Brooks had a really good preseason. He gets brought back. Love to see that. Lawrence Cager's also brought back alongside Chris Moore. Jacoby Jones is also back at the receiver position. Michael Deiter and Tim McKay are the two interior linemen that are being stashed here on the offensive side of the ball. Then we get to the defensive side of the ball, and the guy that they bring in here is Darius Rush, the cornerback. Rush has played for a number of different teams throughout his NFL career to this point, and he's kind of a longer, kind of physical cornerback, really fits what the Commanders want to do here on defense if called upon. But then Ricky Barber, Sheldon Day, Jalyn Holmes, TJM there, the former rugby player, is the international pathway player. So technically the Commanders do have one more practice squad spot available because of that. Then Robert McDaniel, Antonio Hamilton Sr., and Carlin Viggers round out the rest of this group. But now let's get into the rumors talk here, guys, where Bleacher Report suggests that the Washington Commanders should trade for Colts defensive end Kwity Paye before the start of the season. They put out this trade request and trade idea for the Commanders to get Paye on their roster. The Commanders would be getting the defensive end here and a seventh-round pick in next year, and then the Colts would receive a third-round pick from the Commanders in 2026 and a fifth-round pick in 2027. This is what the author from this Bleacher Report article, Mo Moten, had to say about why he is suggesting this trade. He says, in July, the Commanders signed Von Miller in an effort to bolster their pass rush. While the move made sense for a team that lost its 2024 sack leader, Dante Fowler Jr., in free agency, Miller is a situational edge rusher at this stage in his career. Washington needs a young defensive end who can line up on all three downs to rush the pocket and stop the run. Paye isn't a marquee player, but he's consistent and still has room for growth. The 26-year-old has logged at least 8 sacks in back-to-back seasons and 10 tackles for loss in 2 of his 4 campaigns. Indianapolis may not be willing to give Paye a new contract before he tests free agency next offseason. If rookie second year JT Tuimoloau shows flashes this year, the Colts may listen to offers for Paye. Washington has cap space flexibility to acquire and sign him to an extension. So I'm guessing Mo hasn't really heard of or thinks Dorance Armstrong is any good, but this team is actually very, very high on Dorance Armstrong as the Leo, kind of a bigger defensive end in this group. Now, Washington runs a 4-3 under defense, so that means one of their linebackers actually plays on the ball. So Dorance Armstrong is the Leo, the edge rusher, defensive end there. They really like him. They signed him to that contract 2 off seasons ago for a reason. He was a pretty darn good player for them last year. Then they got Javon Kinlaw to play the 3 technique. Daron Payne will play the 1 tech. Dietrich Wise is slated to play the 5 tech to start the season. And then Frankie Louvu on early downs will be the starting Sam linebacker. And then when you go to your pass rushing sets, that's when Von Miller will be coming in. But I don't really see a need for the Washington Commanders to go out and get another starting level Leo, because that's what Kwity Paye would be playing here in Washington. But the biggest reason why I think this idea stinks, guys, is that if Washington were to do this trade right now, they wouldn't have a single draft pick in rounds 2 through 4 in next year's NFL draft. They would have have their first-round pick, then they wouldn't be drafting again till round 5. That is not something that I am willing to do, especially for a position that, frankly, the Washington Commanders don't really need right now. And even if they did want Kwity Paye, I'm not convinced that the Colts are shopping him right now. As he mentioned, he's had 8 sacks the last 2 years. He's a really good run defender. Like, he's not a star, but he's a pretty darn solid player, and the Colts kind of know, and that coaching staff knows that their asses are on the line this year, frankly. They got to win football games, so you got to have depth at that edge rusher position. I just don't really think this trade makes a ton of sense for either side here, guys, but let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Would you accept this trade to bring Kwity Paye to the Washington Commanders? Give me an A for accept or D for decline. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor. Well, I'll tell you about our sponsor today. Let me know if you would accept this trade or decline it down there in the comment section. And with that, let's have a word from our sponsor today at PrizePicks. And guys, college football season is finally here, so don't miss any of the action on Saturdays this year by downloading the PrizePicks app for free today. PrizePicks is super simple to play. You just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. PrizePicks also puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. PrizePicks also offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. PrizePicks is the best place to win cash while watching sports this college football season, frankly, for professional football as well, as that gets going next week as well. So join the millions of users and sign up today. So I'm going to be playing this college football play this weekend, guys. I'm going to be focusing in on the quarterbacks. I'm going to take the more on Garrett Nussmeier passing yards versus the Clemson Tigers. I'm going to take the more on Nico Yamaleava passing touchdowns. I think he gets at least one. I'm going to take the more on Lenore Sellers rushing yards because he's an absolute beast. So if you guys want to download the app today, you can use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup today. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup with PrizePicks today. PrizePicks, run your game. So now shifting our focus here to Taylor Henicke, former Washington Commanders quarterback that is now available to be signed by the Commanders if they feel like they want to add him as a QB3. And there are some people out there suggesting that the Commanders should go out and get Heinicke and bring him back to this organization that gave him his chance initially there to be a starting quarterback because Josh Johnsnon, plain simply, guys, did not have a great preseason. He hasn't had a great NFL career to this point. Heinicke is a lot more established than Josh Johnston is, and I think that this team could do better than Johnson at QB3, especially with Marcus Mariota having back problems. I think this team really needs to have a very solid QB3 in case Mariota gets injured or re-aggravates that back issue during the season, and I'm just not sure Josh Johnston is the guy that you want to trust heading into the season. And you take a look at some of the other QB3 options that are hovering around practice squads around the National Football League right now or just available as free agents. Guys like Easton Stick, Hendon Hooker, Kyle Trask, Desmond Ridder. Tyler Huntley's kind of an interesting one because he can run with the football a little bit. Same thing goes for Dorian Thompson-Robinson. But frankly, guys, there's just not a whole lot of great options out there. And I'm not saying Heinicke is a great option by any stretch of the imagination, but he did play games for the Los Angeles Chargers last year. He didn't play particularly great, but he's played a lot of football in the NFL, including for this organization and including with Terry McLaurin and some of the other players that are currently playing for the Washington Commanders. So I think out of all those options to potentially replace Josh Johnston as this team's QB3, Taylor Heinicke probably makes the most sense and would probably have the best chance at success if, God forbid, something were to happen to Jayden Daniels this season and also Marcus Mariota. So I would bring in Heinicke for the vet minimum, but let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Would you bring in Taylor Heinicke for a cheap contract here and replace Josh Johnston? Type S if you would sign him, or type P if you were going to pass on him. Let me know your guys' opinion down there in the comment section. Now, before I go on today's edition of the Commanders Report, we do have some final items that I want to discuss with you guys. First up, yesterday, Terry McLaurin, after signing his new contract extension, returned to practice for the first time. It's great to see him back out there, man, with the 17 on his back. And then you got Jayden Daniels out there, of course, man. It's great to see that duo back to work together. He's also practiced today before the Commanders take a long weekend before they get ready for their season opener versus the New York Football Giants next Sunday. Then we get to some number changes for the Commanders here. Marcus Mariota is changing to his classic number 8 with Brian Robinson Jr. out of the building. Tyler Owens is changing to 18. Personally, I like 40 better for Tyler Owens, but hey, he does him. Then you got George Fant changing to 77. Colson Yankoff is changing from that terrible 41 to number 80. I think that suits him a lot better. And then Javon Kinlaw is going to look like an absolute beast with the 99 on his jersey this year, so I love that one. Then maybe my favorite jersey swap here is we're going to have Bill Krosky-Merritt. He wore 32 during the preseason, but now he's going to be wearing the double deuce during the season. I think this is a clean look, man. I love that double deuce kind of moniker right there, a little bit of a nickname for him as well. So really looking forward to seeing what Ja'Cory Bill Krosky-Merritt is going to be able to do for this offense this year. And then also congratulations to Mike Sainristil and Jonathan Jones here. They were exempt from practice today for what Dan Quinn called really good news and really good reasons, which is that their wives are having babies today. So congratulations to both of these guys. Their babies get to share the same birthday. They share the same DB room. I mean, how could you ask for anything better than that, right? So congratulations to Mike. Congratulations to Jonathan. And that'll be it for today's edition of the Commanders Report, guys. Make sure you click that subscribe button because we're going to have more extensive Commanders coverage for you guys tomorrow. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time, guys, hail to the Commanders.